Hey you guys, Desmond here,
And LaCresha.
and welcome back to the channel.
Woo.
And today we are here to discuss Canada's Drag Race, Canada versus the World, Season 2. But before we get into that, just want to remind everyone to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We have a goal of 1,000 subscribers, and we would love to reach it as soon as possible. So to make our dreams come true, all you have to do is hit that little red button, and while you're at it, hit that bell notification so you never miss when we upload a new video. So today we're here to talk about the first two episodes because, we're catching up from DragCon. So, Krisha, what did we think of the first two episodes of Canada's Drag Race, Canada versus the World?
They were very entertaining. I liked the little music challenge from the first episode, the acting challenge from the second episode. That was funny.
Listen, when the cast was first announced, everybody was kind of upset because they're like, it's supposed to be versus the world. There's only like 4 countries here, and like I get that, but I saw this post on Twitter, and I wish I could remember the user so I give them props. They weren't casting as in, we want to get as much representation as possible. They cast as we want to make the best possible season.
Right.
And that's what we're getting. These two episodes, I agree with you, were really fun, really good. Honestly, these first two episodes already blow Canada versus the World Season 1 out the water. And I love that
we already got delusion. We got some drama.
we got lip syncs for your lives. We haven't seen a lip sync for your life on an All Star season since All Stars 1. All Stars 1. Now, in All Stars 2, they did have one lip sync for your life. Alyssa and Tatiana to come back in. But, that wasn't the regular format. We have not seen on any of these All Stars that we've seen all around the world a lip sync for your life since All Stars 1. And I love it. We're in Canada. We're playing by Canada's rules. So let's go ahead and get into this Gigiana. Just as a reminder, the winner of Canada's Drag Race, Canada versus the World, will receive the pleasure of $100,000 Canadian. When you do the currency exchange, it's about 86,000, I believe, when we did the exchange. It's somewhere in that ballpark, which is still a lovely chunk of change for the Americans if another one wins. But let's go ahead and get into it. Just like any other versus the world, they do their entrances on the stage, which personally I love. So up first, representing the USA from RuPaul's Drag Race Season 3, All Stars Season 1, and All Stars Season 5, bam, it's Alexis Mateo.
Looking like a blushing bride.
What did we think of the look and your score? And before you give that, just a heads up for those who are new here. The way we review the looks is we give our critiques and then we give it a grade. Anywhere from A to F. Now, typically we don't say F. We'll say it's a no for me, dog. But yeah, any grade from the A to the F you could possibly see. And that's how we do our reviews here. So, Krisha, what did you think of this look and what is your score?
You know what? That is a very unique bride. I
want to go to her wedding, okay?
Huh?
I said I would love to go to her wedding, okay?
Right, because it would be a party. I think this gets an A minus from me.
I thought this was fun, and I love how when she came out it says Canada's Drag Race, I do. For me, this is an A. I thought this was stunning. Moving on to Cheryl. It's just Cheryl now. She dropped her last name.
She dropped the hole.
Yeah, she dropped the hole, and it's funny that the challenge for episode 2 was called The Hole.
Right? She's like, oh, now it's okay.
So,
and it was weird because they had her name up on her little marquee for her booth number, and then they had, like, taped out the whole part.
Yeah. So with Cheryl, this look is okay.
Yeah.
We see she's still struggling in the look department. Just, kind of heads up. Y'all seen the episodes. She's still kind of struggling there. Which really sucks because she could have possibly won both episodes if her runway was better. And it was just like, I hate to see it because she's doing so much better this time. So much. Like, you love to see it. But it's just like, the runways, come on. This is your third time here. This is your third time to step up on these folks' stage. Baby, I would have invested in a designer that just worked directly with me and be like, this is what I'm thinking. Go. Make it look correct. Take the crazy thoughts I have.
Make it look like it belongs on Drag Race.
Yeah. But this is still a nice look. It gets a B for me.
Yeah, I agree. Because the look is lacking. I mean, especially when it comes to this episode and the next episode, you're kind of like, baby, what's going on? Like, everybody else is dripping in the rich fabrics. How come you're not adding anything to it? Because it's kind of lifeless and dull. So I'm giving this a B as well.
All right, let's move on. From Canada's Drag Race Season 1, we have Tynomi Banks. What did you think of Tynomi's look?
You know what? I like it. It's your favorite color.
It is.
And she's working that bodysuit like ain't nobody's business. I give this an A.
I thought this was fun. I really love the silhouette. If you don't know, my favorite color is orange. So this all really worked for me. I would have loved a different shoe. But other than that, I agree with your A. I really enjoyed this. Up next, from RuPaul's Drag Race UK Series 4, we have LaPhil. Now, one thing that I love about this outfit, because I love it all. Like, he really did this. The balloons. The labels on the dress. Fragile, airmail. Like, it really looked like you just shipped LaPhil from the UK to Canada. It's so creative. It has the element of camp. I give it an A+. A+ for me. What did you think of LaPhil's look?
I love this look.
Yes.
I enjoyed the balloons. I get where you're coming from with the camp. I didn't even realize that those were labels. I just thought it was like unique fabric. The boots, I'm loving the boots.
You know I love a thigh high. You know I do.
Yes. He loves a thigh high. He loves a thigh high and a stiletto.
Oh!
But I thought the balloons were a creative touch. This gets an A- for me.
Yes. Moving on, from RuPaul's Drag Race Season 7 and RuPaul's Drag Race All-Star Season 3, we have the Kennedy Davenport. What did you think of Kennedy's look here?
You know what? I love this. This looks like your favorite rich auntie from Florida.
That's the auntie you go sit next to at the party, at the cookout. You sit next to her because she gonna give you all the tea.
Look, she gonna tell you all the stories. She gonna give you all the tea. She gonna give you the best advice. And then before the day is over, she gonna reach into her little flesh pocket real quick and slip you a good little 20. Be like, baby, take care of yourself, okay? Be like, yes, auntie.
Yes,
I give this an A.
I agree with the A. I really love this. It has the element of fun. I love the print. Like you said, this is the auntie we all want to sit next to. So yeah, I agree with the A. Up next, from Drag Race France Season 1, the OG pork chop, LaCresha. I really like this. I thought this was real cute. I wish there was more shape to it. Like, the silhouette wasn't fully there, but the garment itself is really cute. Love those shoes, like the Higher to Jesus, yes, God. So, I will give this a B. What did you think of La Kahena?
I agree with Joe B.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little shapeless, but I love the color. I love the fact that the
Yeah, red
shoes
looks really good on her.
match the color dead on. And the hair is, yeah.
You didn't like the hair?
I gave it a B.
Oh no, you said the hair is yeah. So I was
the hair is like yes.
Oh, okay. You said yeah, and I thought you was going to say something like afterwards. It was just the way you ended that. Yeah, I was like, oh, we don't like the hair.
You was questioning it just a little bit.
That's what it sounds like. I was like, oh, wait. But one thing I really enjoyed about La Cajena's inclusion is, I'm always going to be a supporter of the pork chops. Mm-hmm. Like, they need a chance just like others. I wish this pork chop would have got a little bit further. But hey, It is what it is. She made history. We'll talk about that history a little bit later. But yeah, I hope in future seasons of All-Stars versus the World Global All-Stars, we include some first or like early outs. Like our first through third out, fourth out, depending on how big the season is. Mm-hmm. Bring them back. Because sometimes it really just wasn't their night. You know what I'm saying? Like, my biggest thing is Kelly Mantle from season 6. That just truly wasn't her jam. She had to make that dress, and she ended up having bacon wrapped around her. It happens.
Right.
But following Kelly's career afterwards, she would have ate the rest of those challenges up.
Right.
It's just, she's not a seamstress. That's all it is. But let's move. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think they should make a sewing challenge the first challenge because you don't really get a chance to see like what the queens bring. You had that one. What? I forgot what season it was. We had this one. Was it France? Where the queen, they kept having sewing challenges. Like every other challenge was a sewing challenge, and they kept critiquing the queen. And then when it came to the reunion, they were like, well, where were these lists?
Oh, that was Germany. It was Kelly, what was Kelly's last name? Kelly Hilton.
Yes.
Because they made a comment like, oh, you look so gorgeous tonight. Where was this in the season? She was like, bitch, y'all kept making me sew.
Right.
Yes, Kelly Hilton for an All-Stars versus the World. Please. Somewhere. Please, Kelly Hilton.
I want to see what she could bring.
Oh, no. But yes, up next from Canada's Drag Race Season 4 is Miss Fierce Delicious.
It's Miss Delusional.
Now, what did you think of her walking in her iconic dress from Season 4? And what is your score?
I do agree that it was iconic for her to have the gall, the gumption, to walk up in this dress for a second time and be like, yeah.
But like, if you follow Fierce online, every queen from pretty much every franchise has put on this dress. Like, this dress this is the dress form of Roxy Andrews' verse from Read You Wrote You. At first, we're all like, what is this? But over time, it became iconic.
Exactly.
And I love how Kenny had no idea. She's like, baby, this dress. But she didn't know because she didn't watch.
You didn't watch.
Yeah, but what is your score for this?
This a C. It's still a C. Even with the iconicness.
I know, it's so iconic. I want to give it like a B. I am going to give it a B plus, actually. I'm going to give it a B plus. Now, I remember when we reviewed Season 4, I was not the biggest fan of this. But because of how iconic it has become, it's a B plus for me.
Look, that'd be like Lala Ree coming up in her little bag outfit again.
Bitch, if she would do that, that would be so...
And if she would do that, I thought about that once we were at DragCon. I was like, I'm going to have to find a queen to just cosplay as the next time we go.
And that'll be a real simple one. Get you a cute little bodysuit, and then we could just staple a whole bunch of the little party bags on it. Miss Lala Ree?
Heck, I might get to cut in line like some of these other queens did at DragCon. You just follow me around with a camera
Up next
and a
is
microphone.
Up next is Eureka. She comes from RuPaul's Drag Race season 10, RuPaul's Drag Race season RuPaul's Drag Race season 9, RuPaul's Drag Race season 10, RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars 6. It's Eureka. Surprise, surprise. I have to say, y'all know I am not the biggest fan of Miss Eureka. I'm gonna be honest with you. But I did think she was going to win season 10. I will say that. I always tell folks, I'm not the biggest fan of hers, but I thought she was going to win season 10. I mean, 11. No, 10. Yeah. Season 10. So I will say this. This entrance look, correct.
Yeah.
Proportions, correct. This color looks good on Miss Eureka.
Mm-hmm.
I have no critiques. I give this an A+. What did you think of Eureka? It's only because that exclamation point at the end makes me want to go, Eureka!
I found it. Oh, 6 great flashbacks. You know what? I agree. This is an A-worthy outfit. Look, she even got got some thigh highs on. I really wish I could find some thigh highs that fit my thighs that good.
She probably had them custom made, honestly, because they got the money, honey.
Mm-hmm.
And last but definitely not least, from Canada's Drag Race Season 1, from RuPaul's Drag Race UK versus the World Series 1, it's Lemon.
Yeah.
What did you think of Lemon's look?
Oh, this is gorgeous.
Gorgeous,
honey. She said, "Lemon, let me give you some lemonade." I give this an A.
I agree. This was an A. I thought it was fun. It was on brand. It's Lemon.
Lemon.
So, out of all these amazing queens we have here, who had your favorite entrance look?
I'm gonna have to say Kennedy.
Kennedy. For me, it was LaPhil. I love the camp of it. It still gave glamour. He did that. It was just, immaculate. So our wonderful hostess with the mostest, Brooklyn Height, comes out. Welcomes the queens and let them know that since you're on our turf, you're going to play by our rules. Which means the Golden Beaver is back. And it's actually golden this time.
And not bronze.
God. They just kept throwing me off. I'm like, if y'all don't just throw some damn gold paint on that beaver so we can call it the Golden Beaver. But she got her All-Stars glow up. So the rules for the season is the winner of each week's challenge will have the opportunity to save one of the bottom 3 from lip-syncing for their lives.
Mm-hmm.
So, Brooklyn then announces that for the first maxi challenge, it's a good old-fashioned girl group, honey.
Hey.
And they are part of the Drag Pop EP with the song Bopulence, Tongue Pop, and This Beat. Now, you've heard all 3 songs. Which song would you have wanted to been on?
Probably This Beat.
For me, I would have wanted Bopulence,
Mm-hmm.
but I would have been like Lemon. If I see Cheryl and Kennedy over here, well, I guess I'm tongue popping. Tongue pop. Why you mad, man? Think I won't clap back? It's okay, I guess we... Well, I'm sorry, Bopulence, but I'm trying to win. So, let me get over here with these girls. Baby, move a little something, okay? So, after they all picked their songs, I forgot what they were called for a second, Brooklyn pulled a name out the hat, well, a jar, they got to pick their songs. So after all the songs were selected for Bopulence, we have LaCresha, Alexis Mateo, and Eureka! And for Tongue Pop, we had Lemon, Kennedy, and Cheryl.
Ooh.
And then for This Beat, we have Fierce Alicious, Tynomi, and LaPhil. So, because we are covering 2 episodes, we're going to cut right to the runway. And we have our beautiful host, Brooklyn Heights. What do you think of Brooklyn's look and your score?
This is an A plus plus because you know she brings it every single time. When has Brooklyn Heights ever not just like totally rocked the outfit?
Canada's Drag Race season 1. Season 1 was rough, but from season 2 onwards,
that was when they got like that better.
Yeah, it was all the they got a bigger budget so they could do more with Brooklyn's garments. Hey, and ever since then,
she was at DragCon last year, and she was just rolling through the stadium.
Something told me to go see her last year, but I was like, no, I'll wait till this year, and she wasn't even there.
Of course.
But that's okay. If she decides to go next year, I'll be in that line. Miss Brooklyn, Brooke, we love you.
Look, and I'm gonna need DragCon to be in May, please. Please be in May. I cannot miss 2 PDs in a row. I'm so lost right now.
But for me, I agree with your A+. This is gorgeous. I wouldn't change anything. I love the silhouette. I love the big ruffles at the end. It all works.
Because it's all Brooklyn.
It's all Brooklyn. So this week we were joined by Brad Goriski.
Oh, did you see her Vogue article? Her Vogue cover?
Brooklyn's?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
I'm about to go look on Instagram. We were joined by Brad, one of my favorite judges ever, Tracy Melshore. Now, rumor has it, for Global All-Stars, the special guest judges for the season are just going to be judges from the countries. So hopefully when it's Canada's turn, please bring in Tracy. Please tell me you brought Tracy in. Because she's up there with my girl Anna from España. And my girl, what's her name from Italia? I can't remember her name to save my life, but I live for her. God, I live for her. Like, I hope they're the ones that get selected. But yes, Tracy, it's good to see you again, honey. Now, if we can just get Stacy to come back, just a special guest spot. Stacy, we miss you.
Okay, I miss Stacy.
Supermodel of the world. But anyway, this week's special guest judge is Charlotte Cardin. So let's get into it. Up first, we have Bopulence from the Just Divas, which consists of LaCresha, Alexis Mateo, and Eureka. What did you think of this group?
I was worried. I was worried. Like, I know, like, how come I can't remember nobody's name right now? The biggest brain fart in the universe right now.
Are you talking about one of these queens here?
Yes, I am.
Alexis?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, I do agree with, like, the critique that, like, she was talking about herself and it wasn't giving Bopulence. They were like, oh, we already know who you are. I'm like, yeah, but that's usually what the assignment is. Mm-hmm. Is like, tell us about yourself. So she was just doing what she felt like the assignment was.
Yeah,
but it didn't give Bopulence to me, though.
For me, I really enjoyed all 3 of their verses. It's just, it seemed like they were 3 different queens performing on the same stage instead of a girl group.
Right.
I think that was their biggest downfall. And Pocahontas was just lost, honey. Lord, she was lost.
Yep. And then she was trying to, like, showcase, like, a little too much because she was just like, I'm going to do all 3 languages.
I'm finna say her verse was one of my favorites of the night. It was just her movement didn't match how iconic the verse was for me.
Right.
Because I love her showing off that she could do 3 different languages. Because, hell, I can only do 1 and I struggle with it on the daily. On the daily, I struggle with this 1 language, honey.
You know what? And I don't know how, because I was thinking about this earlier. like, because I was watching the opening shows for the Olympics.
Uh huh.
So I was watching Lady Gaga sing La Plume, and I was just like, I cannot learn a second language. Like, I'm trying to learn Spanish, and I'm slowly getting into it a little bit more and growing a little bit more confident when I try to speak it, because I know, like, my students, they're gonna make fun of me, but they're also going to teach me at the same time. So I'll sit there because I have a bunch of EB students. So I'm like, how do you say, or because of all of the Spanish phrases that I remember, como se dice is the one I remember.
Oh, honey, that was the first thing they taught us. What como se dice? Mm-hmm.
But, like, and I have one in my new class that teaches that it looks at me and is like in love with the fact that, like, oh, you can you're trying to speak my language.
Mm-hmm.
And to watch her eyes light up, I'm like, oh baby. Because in my last class I had an EB student, but she spoke a good amount of English. And every time I said something to her in Spanish, she'd be like, oh my gosh, Miss G, stop speaking Spanish, you don't know what you're talking about. But at the same time, she loved the fact that I was trying. And so she'd be like, no, you don't say it like this, you say it like this. And I'm like, oh, okay. But me and, like, my brain is, like, so, I guess you could say, like, stuck in a certain mode that when I try to learn another language, I'm like, wait, okay, wait, because in English it's like this. How come it's like this now? But I'm getting better, especially when it comes to Spanish, of being able to, like, flip and switch, because I know, oh, well, I'm speaking Spanish, so I can't say I went to the store. I have to say the store is over there and I went that way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I admire her for her three languages.
But yeah, most Europeans speak at least 3 languages.
Right.
But also, they learn it from childhood. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They wait till high school in Texas to try to teach you another language. Or at least that's how it was in my case. They waited till I was in high school to try to teach us Spanish. I'm like, I imagine if y'all would have incorporated it, like, first grade, pre-K, kindergarten, I probably would have picked it up faster, because when I used to volunteer at a Head Start, that was the first year where we would sing the 7 Days of the Week song. We were singing in English and we're singing in Spanish. Now that I can sing in Spanish.
Hey.
But yeah, that was just the early droppings of, right, trying to incorporate Spanish or just any other language when you're teaching little ones. Because it's a lot easier to teach the little one that language and then let them grow up with it than tell a 14-year-old here. And I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do with this? No.
Right. I mean, and that, like, it would be nice if they started it in the formidable years. The school that I'm at now, there is a Spanish block. I'm not teaching it. But one of our electives is Spanish. So, like, every day of the week they get a different one. And yeah, our elective, we have an elective block that is purely just Spanish. And I'm like, good, because they're starting them early enough where it can be locked in their brain.
Yeah, and you can get paid more for being bilingual.
Yeah, oh, definitely. You definitely get paid more for being bilingual.
But let's move on. The second group we have is the face with this beat. And I have to say, they did a really good job. They were cute.
They tried really, really hard.
Yeah, like, they gave girl group Fierce's face, though. Like, her face was so... I'm like, honey...
Dead the whole time.
Yeah, I'm like, honey, you gotta... Like, her verse was really cute. But I'm just like, tell your face to come to the party.
Right.
Because you're very much... I'm like, oh, okay. Are you having a good time?
And I get it. Because it's like, oh, it's called the face. Or you're called the face and it's called This Beat, and so you're trying to like serve face, but at the same time, you got to be a cheerleader for your thing.
Mm-hmm.
What? Where are they? You're Canada, but still, Little Minx was in Canada. They don't go out and they're like, when they're like, we're up in the club and it's an upbeat song. They're smiling, they're laughing, or at least they used to be, when they were a group.
But yes, they did a good job. But compared to this final group here,
oh,
the Slapbacks with Tongue Pop.
This.
Why you mad? Think I won't clap back. Hey, tongue pop. I'm like, yes. Like, all three verses were amazing. I would have to say Cheryl had my favorite verse and my favorite look here. Like, that girl group look there, that's what I need to see from Cheryl.
Right. I think somebody styled her.
That's probably what it is. They styled it up for her. And that's probably what it is. She lacks the styling. Because we'll talk about her looks. They're not bad.
They're not bad.
They just need styling.
Right. Like the TikTok song. It's not that bad. It just needs a little...
But yes, I thought they all did great. They all look amazing. It was all mwah for me. What did you think?
Yes, definitely.
So, moving on to the runway. The category is Wonders of the World. Basically, their very best drag. Right. So, we're going to go through this relatively quickly so we can go ahead and hop into the next episode. So, up first, Alexis Mateo. A+.
A+.
A fucking plus.
A+.
And I just love that within the big, reveal, there's a crown right there to go above her head. Right. I'm like, that is so fucking smart. I love it. I love it.
Like, let's put this subliminally in your head.
Like, hey,
me.
Just so it's clear, this is why I'm here. This is my 4th time, honey.
Look, she got it from Jada, because Jada did it first.
Yeah, Jada's her. Yeah, I remember hers during the finale of 12. I had to think what season Jada was on at first. All right, up next is LaCresha. What did you think of LaCresha here?
It's sleek, it's sexy. It needed some styling. So I give it a C.
I agree. And again with the proportions, like, it's just not there, but it's still cute. Like, I like this. So I'll give this a C+. A C+. Okay. Up next is Eureka. It's a no for me, dog.
I agree. We talked about this when we was watching it. The episode in the hotel room. We was like,
Baby, she came out of this. We both just shut up. We're like... Especially after your amazing entrance look and your amazing look next episode. It's a no for me, dog.
It's a no for me, dog.
It's a no for me, dog. Up next is Lemon.
Lemon gives you life.
What did you think of Miss Lemon here?
Ma'am, I want to borrow this.
I saw this and I'm like, this is very
Especially once I saw it in person because she wore it.
Yeah, my picture with her is in it. Yeah.
She wore it for day 2 and I was like, that's Lemon.
Like, it looks so much better in person, yeah.
It does. It looks so good in person.
So
this is an A for me.
I agree with the A. I thought this was cute. I love this silhouette. The hair was on point. I would like the bigger necklace. You know me, I love a necklace. I would have liked the bigger one. And I'm not sure if that's just because I'm from Texas and I feel like everything needs to be 5-10 times bigger than what it needs to be. But yeah.
she wore it. The thing is, I think she wore it like a woman would wear it. A woman would wear it like that. But see, a woman's got the décolletage to kind of like take up space up there.
And with her not having a breastplate on, that might have been what it was.
Yeah. And then it just needed just a little dangle.
Up next, we have the Kennedy Davenport. This was everything.
God.
This was everything.
Everything.
Head to toe, the silhouette, the color. Ugh, this is A+. A+. What did you think?
A++. Would. Cannot go wrong.
Cannot.
And I love how the background matched her outfit.
Yes. Yes. Up next is Cheryl. What did you think of Cheryl?
Hold on. You know what? This is actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. But like the critique said, it was just a little too high. I think the marabou feathers need to just be a little bit lower.
It comes back to that styling thing we were just talking about earlier, because like you said, this is cute. Just minor adjustments would have made it go.
This would have been on point. It's shine. It's ticking most of the boxes. It just needed a little styling.
Mm-hmm.
So I give this an A.
I give it a B+. Like the styling really could have affected it, and also I think a bigger hair, especially if you're gonna have this up to your neck like this, give us a big ass hair too. You know what I'm saying? Give us the moment.
I like the hair. I think just something is missing in the hair. I think that if the hair had the rhinestones in it too, then you wouldn't care about how big the hair was. Or
honestly, if the garment was pulled down like Brooklyn had her pull it down, the hair is fine that way. But if you're going to keep that up, you need something here.
You're losing her face.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks like you just got a floating head.
Mm-hmm. But baby, you need to just hire us, the stylist. We're cheap.
Up next, we have Tynomi Banks. This is gorgeous.
God,
this is exquisite.
And you even got your big chunky necklace.
I got my necklace. Like A+ for me. A+.
Definitely A+. I like that the hair goes in the little wing fashion, and then once you stick them shoulders out, you get that wing tooth. Oh. And you just
Baby,
high fashion.
As Mo Hart would say, this is the ooh-ah-ah sensation, okay?
Yes.
Up next is LaPhil. What did you think of LaPhil?
This was very camp. I love it. I give this a B.
I thought this was really cute. I thought it was fun. It fit LaPhil's culture. I give it a B+. This was really cute. And then we have Miss Fiercelicious. And now it makes sense why she wore the prolapse dress in, because now here's the glow up. And this glow up is everything. This gets an A for me. I love the silhouette. I love the how it puffs out, give us a little mermaid at the bottom. I love all the little prolapses everywhere on the gown. Like, whoever made this for her, 2 snaps and a kiss. Now, if y'all know that reference, y'all might be a little too old. If y'all know that reference, 2 snaps and a kiss, honey, you might be getting up there in the age, okay? Might be getting up there in the age. But what did you think?
You need to get up in age.
What did you think of Fiercelicious?
You know what? I agree. I agree with your assessment. This is the glow up dress, and it makes sense now why she wore the other one. I wish it would have been made out of the same fabric.
Yeah.
Instead of this pleather. But it is what it is. I give it an A.
So now we have all of our beautiful queens standing here. Who had your favorite look tonight?
Ooh. I'm gonna have to say Tynomi.
For me, I think I'm about to go Alexis. I think I'm about to go Alexis.
Okay.
Really cute. So it was music to my ears when Brooklyn said that they worked in groups and they'll be judged in groups. I know a lot of people don't like them being judged in groups, but to me it makes sense. If you worked as a group, you should be judged as a group. So
right,
although
so if you win as a group.
Yeah, like, and if we were judging individually, no, Alexis shouldn't have been in the bottom. But her group was the worst group. And I feel like that has to be, that they need to be held, I hate to say accountable, but I feel like that should be part of the judging when you're looking at it. Like, oh yeah, you did great, but you were in the worst group.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm big on being judged as teams. I know a lot of people hate it. I personally like it. So when Brooklyn said they were being judged as teams, I'm like, yes, judge them as teams, honey. So we found out that Team Tainomi, Fierce Delicious, and LaPhil was safe. Mm-hmm. Team Lemon, Kennedy, and Cheryl were in the top. And Team Alexis, LaCresha, and Eureka were in the bottom. Do you agree with the placements?
Yes.
I do too. 100%. After the judging was complete, we find out that Lemon finally broke her first episode curse. Because if you think about it, Canada's Drag Race Season 1 and UK versus the World Series 1, who was in the bottom 2 both of those times?
Lemon.
So, for her to come in and completely slay it and get the win, I love it. Do you agree with Lemon getting the win here?
I think it's, well, yes and no. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, she could have won, but it would have been nice if the whole group had won.
Well, with this Golden Beaver twist, there's no way all 3 of them could have won.
Exactly, because, we'd have, another Scissor Sister situation. I guess so.
For me, I would say yes. Like, at first I was like, oh no, I think Kennedy should have got it. But going back and watching it, she had the better verse. Because I feel like she had a better verse than Kennedy. And the runway was on par with each other. So it could have gone either way, but I think I too would have given this to Lemon this episode. So we find out that Alexis, Eureka, and LaCresha are in the bottom. And Lemon has to save one of them. So we go into Untucked, and they have their conversations. They plead their case, or just straight up say, I don't want to lip sync. We go back to the main stage. Now, Roxy St. James, congratulations, you're the winner of this week's challenge. If you had to save from these 3, which queen would you have saved from lip syncing for her life?
I would have saved LaCresha because I know Eureka and Alexis can hold their own.
Mm-hmm. For me, I agree with Fierce Delicious. I would have saved LaCresha. She was a pork chop. I would want to see what more she could bring to the table. And this is Alexis and Eureka's 4th time competing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I was there, I feel like I would be loyal to my USA girls. So I would have to save Alexis because I wasn't going to save Eureka. But say if I was an international queen and I came into this gig, I would have saved LaCresha. This is y'all's 4th time here.
Right.
Like, this is her 2nd chance. And like a lot of queens here have already been on the show multiple times. So yeah, I think I would have saved LaCresha as well and had Alexis send home Eureka. But Lemon chose to save Alexis Mateo, which makes sense. She did do the best. So if you want to be like fair, she did do the best. So like, I get it. I see why she did it. I was looking at it a little differently.
We all were looking at it a little differently.
Yeah, it just irritated me that they tried to make Fierce feel bad for it in the next episode. I'm like, even with Tainomi trying to force her to engage in a conversation she wasn't really trying to have at the moment, I was like, okay, this is weird. All right. But anyway, so I'll be damned. Alexis Mateo was saved.
Hey.
So in the bottom two, that leaves LaCresha and Eureka lip syncing to Meaningless by our special guest judge, Charlotte Cardin. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought LaCresha won this lip sync. Like, at first it was very tied. Like, they were both giving the emotion. I'm like, okay, this is close. This is close. I don't know which way it's going to go. But when Eureka hit that high kick and started doing an 8 count, I'm like, girl, what are you... This ain't the song.
Right?
This ain't the song, honey. This is not the song for that. So I really thought Eureka was going to go to the house. I really did. What did you think of this lip sync?
I agree with you. I thought LaCresha brought it. I don't know what in the world Eureka was doing.
But we're back to the...
Different folks, man.
Yeah, we're back to the... Girl, that head nodding, like we're reading each other's minds. I'm like, just do like Espana and like y'all did the first season and pass each other a damn card.
Right?
Like, come on. Like, it's just, the nodding is so freaking weird to me. And like at this point, they know they're in on the joke now because we all joke about it. But like, it's so weird. Just have a little card, write down who you thought won, hand it over. Let Brooklyn count them up, and then be like, your winner of this lip sync is... And in this case, they chose Eureka to stay. I disagree. I thought LaCresha won. But if you think about who would possibly bring better TV, Eureka would.
Eureka.
So unfortunately, LaCresha makes history yet again to be the first queen to be a pork chop. Twice. Our ultimate pork chop queen. She has out pork chop now. But after her elimination, they return back to the workroom. They read her message. They congratulate Eureka on winning the lip sync. And Lemon basically said, well, she didn't say it, but she didn't correct Alexis in saying that, oh, you thought I was the best. That's why you saved me. But she did say in her confessional she wants to beat the best. So it makes sense that she saved the better competitor of the three.
Right.
And then Tainomi tried to get Fierce Delicious to speak up when she really wasn't trying to. She was just sitting there doing her thing. And look at y'all, got me rooting for Fierce Delicious. Got me defending Fierce Delicious. That was my girl. I got to meet her at DragCon. She was a hoot. She was hungover as hell. But she was still a hoot. But yeah, it was just... I was like, why are y'all... especially Tainomi, if she didn't feel like talking about it right now, why are you trying to make her talk about it right now?
Right.
It's clear she felt like LaCresha should have been safe and that one of the Americans should have went home. I agree with her.
Right.
And it's not a wild conclusion how she got there. Like, it makes sense why she thought how she thought.
Exactly.
But yeah, I just thought that was weird. I did. They then got pulled to the side and Tainomi's like, you're acting weird. And I'm like, no. First you forced her to have a conversation she wasn't trying to have.
Right.
And then everybody was just kind of looking at her crazy for the way that she felt. But hey, it is what it is. So we come into the workroom the next day. They're chit-chatting at the table. They congratulate Lemon on the first win of the season.
Yep.
The alarm goes off and RuPaul gives the first Ru meal of the season. Which, at this point, I feel like the host of whatever country should be doing their own Ru meal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but rumor has it RuPaul wanted to host Canada's Drag Race. But because of the rule that a Canadian has to be on the panel or something like that, they decided to pivot elsewhere. I'm like, well, RuPaul still could have did it. Just had the judges be Canadian and her still be there. And then also, Canada has to be the first word in the title. That's why it's called Canada's Drag Race instead of Drag Race Canada. Because everybody else, like Drag Race France, Drag Race Holland, Drag Race España, they're the only one where the country's first, and that's a rule that Canada has. So I imagine that was probably the biggest reason, because it got to start with Canada, and if RuPaul's there, it's going to have to start with RuPaul.
Right.
Could you imagine if RuPaul did judge Canada? That would be interesting.
Okay.
RuPaul's Drag Race Canada. But yeah, Ru gave the first room out, and then Bradley enters the workroom and announces that this week's Maxi Challenge is an improv challenge called The Hole.
The Hole!
And basically, it's the Traders. It was basically the show Traders into an improv challenge.
Or The Mole.
No, it was Traders. Like, watching it, and what irritates me is they never once mentioned that Fierce Alicia's was on Traders. I'm like, this is a Traders-inspired challenge. You have somebody who competed on Traders. And y'all ain't gonna bring that up? And apparently Fierce said online that, she was talking about it nonstop that episode. But they decided not to air it.
They let it slip briefly because she was like, oh, I've done reality TV. I'm a reality TV queen. And then they just kind of moved on to the next thing.
But yes, so the queens sit down and they divvy out the roles. There wasn't really too much of a back and forth. The only thing was, like, Alexis ended up with the role that she really didn't want and truly didn't understand, like, what's a Karen. I'm like, damn, girl, you don't know what a Karen is?
Right.
But it is time for our improv challenge. So for, just time, we're going to go through this relatively quickly. Bradley was the host. Up first was Lemon. I thought Lemon did a great job here.
Lemon was excellent.
Hilarious.
It gave me very, very who's the man that just passed? That what y'all doing? Screwing?
Leslie.
Yes, gave me very Leslie vibes.
For me, it gave that old characterization of what they thought gay people acted like. Like, if you go back to the movies from, like, the 50s and 60s, and if there was somebody gay in there, that's how they acted. That's what it gave me. I thought she did a great job. Up next is Eureka, who was playing the soap star. I thought she did great.
Yeah, she did pretty good.
I'm not going to lie to you. With this in her runway, I thought she was going to be in the top this week. I didn't think she was going to win.
She thought that too.
I didn't think she was going to win, but I thought she was going to be in the top. Not me over here praising Eureka, but hey, I review fairly.
You can't deny when somebody actually does good.
Yeah, like, there's been a lot of queens I don't particularly care for that's been on the show, but when they do good, I'm gonna give you props. And Eureka, you did that, and then that runway, woo! When she called you safe, I was like, huh? Safe? Well, honey, if I was judging, you would have been in the top this week. But anyway, moving on to Fierce Alicious. She was just playing, the bitch. It didn't really work.
It didn't.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, it didn't read for me. And I was, like, extremely underwhelmed.
Yeah, and I think it comes with what they were saying. You're playing the petty bitch. You're already one.
Exactly.
So, like, you're really not playing a character. You're really just going in and trying to just be yourself. And it doesn't really work that well.
Going in and being yourself, I really think the lack of overacting, as it were.
Yeah, like, she really didn't do well at the improv part.
Yeah, she never really, like, yes and. It was just kind of like, oh, I'm going to throw an insult out there and you're going to read me as a bitch. I don't know how to act. I don't know how to yes and, but
I'm finna say I'm getting better at my improv because I practice from time to time and really try to get myself into that headspace. My biggest thing is I don't like to be embarrassed. And a
that
lot in a
part.
lot of part with improv, you just gotta throw it out there all raw and just go with it. Like I'll put it out there, but my face will go, "Oh God, did I do that right? Oh God, did I do that right?"
Right. Cuz that's my problem is that's my problem with a lot of things. Like even with teaching, I'm like overthinking it. Like even now I'm just like, okay, I got to have lesson plans for tomorrow. What are we going to do? Because guess what? None of our stuff works. I don't have access to half of our
Oh,
language
honey,
lessons.
I'm over here. I was over there rethinking my interaction with the queens. Like, oh, did that come off as mean or rude or embarrassing? Oh, I hope that didn't. You know what I'm
Right. I
saying?
mean,
Like,
and that's kind of what kept me from like the first year it was just straight intimidation like
oh
just
yeah, last year, although I did meet a lot of queens, I could have met more if I didn't get like in my own way.
right.
I was like, oh,
And then
Brooklyn? No, I can't meet Brooklyn. No, 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 I can't
it
meet
was
Brooklyn. No.
the first year it was financials that kept me from meeting the queens. This year it was just my inner demons keeping me.
Last year was Inner Demons. This year, I just if I have my list, I'm like, okay, let me go here. Okay, let me go here.
So
Now my list was incredibly long, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to get everybody, but
right.
I was still like, okay. Oh wait, I'm close to this queen. Hold on, let me go.
Right. Cause like I got more queens the first year than I did the second year. And it was just because one, Rue was there and everybody was like, oh, it's a $30 minimum. It's a $45 minimum. Whereas the year before it was like, oh, it's $5, $10, $15, $20 minimum. This year they were like, nope, $45. Like the first queen I
I
went
guess we were
with.
seeing different people because some of the bigger names are around that price, but most of them were anywhere between like 15 to 25.
But every queen I met just about was like 15 was basically like 30 $45. I think
The one that I spent the most on was technically RuPaul because I bought all of the vinyls that I can show y'all one right quick. I bought all the vinyls, but the meet and greet was separate, so I had to buy these and the meet and greet. So technically, I
right.
spent the most at RuPaul's booth. But for the actual meet and greet, I think the most I spent was Bianca because by the time I got there, all that was left were the onesies.
Right.
And with that,
I
you had to purchase merch to get the meet and greet, and that was only merch left.
right. And I think a lot of it was one just like my inner demons and then two was thinking about one how much pain I was in. Two, I had had that whole little that incident with the car the night before. And then three, it was like uh me trying to figure out what I was going to do for other people
Mm.
because I was like, "Oh, I want to get gifts for my team because I'm with brand new people and I want to make a good impression and stuff like that." And they like their keychains, by the way.
Oh yeah, the people I gave my keychains to. I wish I would have got more, but
I think and for some weird reason, I have like spares, but that was mostly because like, I was like, here are all the keychains, pick one, and then you can have a T or you can have a Seattle keychain. Which one do you want? And so I still have like one Seattle keychain left. I still have a T left, and then I got like four or five um of the Minnie Mouse and the
mhm.
Mickey Mouse keychains left. And I'm like, look, if y'all don't take them, they're coming home with me. And even if they don't, they might end up being somebody's prize somewhere down the
Yeah,
line.
like that's always good to have little things like that. But let's get
Right.
back to this
Oh,
challenge. Up next, we had Kennedy Davenport.
oh
She
God, she was funny.
she was playing the know-it-all, and she really knocked this out the park.
Look, if she would have just had her voice like this, she'd have been Hattie from all of the
The
Tyler
Tyler
Perry
Perry
movies.
stuffs, yes. I thought she did such a great job. I love how she was old school and had everything on pen and paper. I love how the papers
Mm-hmm.
were all stored in different
Right,
locations.
and let me get this out my wig real quick.
Hold
You
on.
know, I'm gonna just throw this over here.
But honestly, Kennedy always does well in the improv challenge, and this was no different. Really did a great job here. Up
My
next is
favorite.
LaPhil playing the girl looking for love.
Right. I think she struggled with this real hard.
LaPhil struggled really bad. And like
Really hard.
I get LaPhil's logic because technically the only man out there was women.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just like I think I would have tried flirting more with Brad than women.
Right. I'd
And
have
and
flirted with
really and really
everybody. I'd
and really
flirt
play
with
in
men
for
and
the
women.
yeah, and really play into the fact that I'm here for love. Like I would have been like I would have pulled a rose out, but like okay, hi, really played
Right.
into the fact that I'm looking for love here on the whole.
Right. I'd be like, my hole is yours.
Yeah. Up next, we have Tainomi Banks.
Also struggled.
Oh, poor
This was rough.
Tainomi. It was rough. And, like, they were trying to warn her. They were like, the Miss Cleo thing didn't work before.
Right.
And then she said in her
The,
confessional, but everything's funnier with a Jamaican accent to me. And I'm like, that probably is true to you. But there were so many times to yes and. Especially being someone who can see the future.
right.
You were asked deliberately, I want to say twice, if you could see what was coming, and each time you
Do
gave.
you know what question I'm gonna ask you is? Yes, darling, I'm single.
I'll be like, oh yes, I'm gonna go this way or something. You know what I'm saying? Like you really could have
Right.
played into it. Yes, I know to line up
Seriously.
with the others over here. Yes, I'm
Look.
single. Like
Yes, darling, I'm single. No, darling, no, I go over here. You know, something. Don't you know?
yeah, it's just like it was just. Whew. But moving on to Cheryl as the super fan, baby, this was so good.
Perfect.
So good. I'm like,
So
girl,
good.
what is Rachel Berry doing here?
Okay.
Because it gave very much Rachel Berry.
It get, and then I'm aging myself, even though I didn't watch the originals. I did watch the reruns because he gave me Mary Tyler Moore vibes.
I told y'all she old. She old. But up next we have the Karen, Alexis Mateo. She did okay.
she tried. She
Yeah,
was
and
getting
and,
it.
and that's what I give her applause for. She tried compared to some other people. She was really
Right.
trying to play that Karen role. So I got to give her 2 snaps. Okay, I'm not gonna give her the kiss, but she'll get 2 snaps.
Look at this snaps.
And then the special guest surprise,
Mm-hmm.
Lisa Rinna, that nobody knew she was coming.
Mm.
Everybody was gagged.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, if they wouldn't have showed us in the trailer that Lisa was going to be there, I would have been gagged too when she walked out.
Right.
I feel like this could have been one of the secrets. Been like, shh, we're not going to tell them we got Lisa Rinna.
Mm.
But I want to know, how did they get Lisa Rinna? Like that, and look at them shoes. You see them shoes? Hold on, I'm gonna zoom in on the shoes, darling. The shoes.
Ooh. How you
Oh,
walk in stilettos? I've never known. And then
stiletto
I'm too heavy
pumps
for them now.
in the club. Sorry. But yeah, we're gonna zoom in on the shoes.
Don't green dress heels, person. Oh my god, that's such a thing on TikTok now.
But yes, I wonder, did they call in her? Like, how did that? Because it made sense when she did U.S. Drag Race. You know, she is from the United States. So seeing her up here, I'm like, did you even know Canada had their own Drag Race? Like, how did you get here? But I love to see her.
She's a fan. She's a real fan.
She's a real fan, okay? She watches all the franchises, okay?
All of them.
But yeah, it was good to see Miss Lisa Rinna. Now let's get to this runway. Up first, our beautiful hostess with the mostest, Brooklyn Heights. What did you think of Miss Brooklyn?
I love this so much.
I love every ounce of this. For me, this is an A plus 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 plus.
That hair is just giving me so much life.
Oh, the hair is for the gods.
Blake Lively, who?
Like, this all just... I love the print of the bodysuit that's under the skirt. Mm-hmm. Like, I bet the bodysuit alone is fucking sickening. I bet it is. Like, you don't even need the little skirt over it. Like, oh. This is good. But what's your score?
A plus.
So this week we are joined by Brad and Tracy. And our extra special guest judge, Lisa Rinna. So the category for this week is Mother Nature. So congratulations, Roxy St. James. You have been casted on Canada's Drag Race, Canada versus the World, Season 2, which means you're American. That means you've had to lose at least 2 or 3 times before getting to this point.
God bless it.
So what would you do with the prompt, Mother Nature?
Ooh, okay. So... I'm putting some thought into this. I would have been Oshun, and I would have had like this gorgeous, like bedazzled caftan that still like hugged my body in all the right places. And they have those because you put the little belt in between it. Ooh, yeah. Anyway, and then I would have had like a big old onk. My hair would have been in a big old onk sign. And I still would have had like cascading hair with little sparkles and stuff down the back. And I'd have just walked out and would have just showed all of my everything. And I turned around.
So for me...
And the hair would have flowed into the back of the garment in the train. And you wouldn't have been able to tell one from the other. Ooh, yeah, okay.
For me, I think this would have been the time to make a statement about how we're destroying our Earth. So I would have came out completely covered in smut, ashes, to a reference to the wildfires. I would have came out completely just... I would have been crawling out like, oh, I'm trying. And then right at the end, I'll do a cute little wig reveal, and it'll show like a little flower. Because through it all, we're still trying to make it through. You know what I'm saying? I either would have done...
like Wally.
Or I would either done that, or I would have talked about polluting our waters. And came out with this beautiful gown as if I am the water, but trash is all over it. Have a little 6-pack of soda thing around a turtle's neck. You know, just be like, you see what you're doing to me. You see what you see what you're doing to me, right?
Right.
Yeah, so I would have took a message. I don't know which way I would have went, but I would either went ashes or polluting the oceans. You see what you're doing to me.
If I was gonna go camp vibes, then I would have just came out looking like Wally.
But let's quickly run through these because we're already past our time. Up first is Cheryl. At first I thought this first look was it. I'm like, Cheryl, please tell me this ain't it. Now,
but it would have been iconic, but I would have, at the same time, I was like, Dune?
That was me. I'm like, are we referencing Dune? But we got revealed to this, and again, like we talked about before, it's a styling thing with Crystal Lord, with Cheryl. I feel like a different wig. I feel like the silhouette is there, but accessories. Give us some accessories.
Right.
Maybe something on the shoulder.
Sparkle.
Yeah, like the gown is beautiful. I give it a B. It's just the styling is what's keeping you from jumping over that line.
Right.
What did you think of
Um,
Cheryl?
I give it a C.
Mm-hmm.
It needed some styling really bad.
Yeah. All right, moving on to LaFille. Like they said in Untucked, I like this garment, but it doesn't give Mother Nature to me.
Yeah,
So
it
because it
gives
wasn't
me.
really the assignment, I give it a C.
I agree with the C. It looks more like an airbender outfit than anything.
Up next is Lemon.
Purple Kush.
A plus. That's all I can say. A plus. A plus. What did you think?
The most unique wedding gown I've ever seen. I
Ugh.
love it.
Ugh.
This was an A plus to me.
Up next is Miss Fiercelicious. What did you think of Fierce here?
You know what? I think Fierce did a really good job here. Like, to me, in my brain, like, Fierce is so vain that she would never think about looking pregnant. But at the same time, like, whatever balloon she used to be her belly, or whatever she used to make her belly, she skin matched that very well.
It is amazing.
Very well. I like it. She styled this great. I give it an A.
I love this. In particular, this wig. I want this wig. With and without the leaves in it. Like,
Right?
oh, like this is just so good. Head to toe. I wouldn't change a thing. I love every
No.
aspect of this ensemble.
Yes. And look, the eyebrows is on point.
Baby, they are on it. I give it A plus. I give it A plus.
A plus. Definitely.
Up next is Alexis Mateo. I thought this was cute. I give it a B.
Yeah, yeah. You know, it's like it's like one of my second graders' drawings of what they think Mother Nature looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I give it a B.
Up next is Eureka. What did you think of Eureka?
You know what? This was okay actually. I wasn't mad at this. I give this like a B plus.
I love this outfit. Like when she walked out in this, I gasped because I wasn't expecting this from Eureka. I love the silhouette. You get Mother Nature from it. I love seeing the mushrooms and everything else coming off of this tree. I give it an A plus. I give it an A plus. Up next is Kennedy Davenport wearing an Akira Davenport original. So this is an A plus 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 plus. This was everything to me, to quote Monica. What did you think?
Look, this was everything to me too. It gave me like Fern Gully vibes. You know that scene towards the end when the spirit is coming and they all go in the little tree and it's yeah, I love it. It was great, excellent, A plus plus, excellent.
All right, as we move on, I just want to let you know I've never seen that movie you just said. Up
You've never
next,
seen Fern Gully?
I don't even know what a Fergully is.
Do you know what Aladdin is?
I do know what Aladdin is.
Just making sure you know Robin Williams movies.
I'm
Go
just
on YouTube, look up free movies, and type in Fern Gully.
Listen, I think the age gap between me and you are showing.
No.
I think it is. I think it
No.
is. Because I like the joke that you're really old, but there is a gap between you and me, and I really think you're showing that gap because
I don't care. Everybody knows what Fern Gully is.
I don't know what Fergully is.
When this is over, we're using the little YouTube connection here on Discord, and we're watching Fern Gully on YouTube.
No, we're not.
Yes.
No, we're not. I'm telling you.
Yes,
now.
we are.
Up next is Tainomi. She looks pretty. I give it a B plus.
She's really leaning into the chocolate.
What is yours?
But
Yeah, what is your
I'm
score?
gonna be.
So this was the only shot I could get of all 8 of them.
God bless it.
But who is your favorite and why is it Kennedy?
Because it's Kennedy.
Yeah, Kennedy really ate it this week. Special shout out to Fierce and Eureka and Lemon. Y'all really turned it out this week. But Kennedy
was that girl.
So we find out that this week in the top, we have Kennedy, we have Lemon, and we have Cheryl, which was the exact same top from last week. In the bottom, we have LaFille, Fierce Alicious, and Tynomi Banks. Do you agree with this top and bottom placement?
Yeah.
I agree with it. I would make a small change. I would have switched out Cheryl for Eureka. Because although she did great in the improv challenge, Eureka also did great in the improv challenge. Eureka has a better runway in my opinion. So I would switch them out. So I'm not upset that she's up there. And honestly, if I was judging this season, Eureka probably would have went home last week. But she's here. She did great. I would have put her in the top. All right, so after judges' deliberation, we found out that Kennedy Davenport is the winner of this week's challenge. Do you agree?
Yeah.
I agree wholeheartedly as well. And we find out that Fierce Alicious, Tynomi Banks, and LaFille are the bottom 3. So they go back in Untucked. They discuss why they should be saved. They congratulate Kennedy. We come back to the main stage. Congratulations, Roxy St. James. You were the winner of this week's challenge. You can save one of these 3 queens from lip syncing for their life. Which queen would you have saved?
I would have saved Tynomi.
I'm looking at this as an American playing this game.
Right.
I see 2 Canadians in the bottom. I'm saving LaFille. Gotta get it's Canada versus the world, so we gotta get Canada out of here. So, Lord, if I ever step into these situations, I swear I'm gonna be painted as a villain. No, I want to play the game. That's all. I just want to play the game. It's Canada versus the world, and there's 2 Canadians that could possibly go home. Yeah, I'm finna save LaFille. Baby, one of these Canadians finna get out of here. Yeah. Yeah. Lord. Oh, they're going to be mad at me. Anyway. So, Kennedy decides to save Miss Fierce Alicious, which I thought she was going to save Tynomi. So, I was like, oh, Fierce. I can't wait to hear next week what led her to that decision.
Well, she said she wanted to see a show, so...
Yeah, but I feel like it was more to that than just I want to see a show. And if that was truly her reason, okay, well then cool. But I feel like, knowing Kennedy, I think she had more of a deeper reason to do it. So, I'll be damned, Miss Fierce Alicious was saved. So that leaves Tynomi Banks and LaFille lip-syncing to Let Me Think About It by Ida Carr and Freddie LeGrand. Never heard this song either.
Nope.
But there was a lot of Americans online talking about, oh my God, the song this week, I loved it. And I'm like, don't get me wrong, I loved it too, but they're implying they knew the song.
Right.
I'm like, oh no. Did I add this song to the playlist? Yes. I did add it to the playlist. It was added to the playlist. So was Meaningless. I'll say that. That was a cute little song. That got added to the playlist too. But, yeah, I didn't know this song. But I will say, Tynomi turned this out.
He did.
LaFille did alright. Like, LaFille didn't do bad. But LaFille was really trying to play into the whole robot thing instead of perform.
I don't know what she was doing.
Yeah, like, LaFille didn't do bad, but Tynomi was just...
there.
It's like, baby, she was the moment. She is the moment. Like, I loved every second of it. So the judges nod and, telepathically told each other, who they picked.
Mm-hmm.
And Tynomi Banks was saved. Do you agree that she won this lip sync?
Yes.
I agree as well. I think she won this lip sync. Which, unfortunately, we had to say goodbye to good old LaFille. I was hoping LaFille would have went a little bit farther.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I really enjoyed them during this time. And if they ever do a UK All-Stars, or say if she wanted to UK versus the world, I will be glad to see you again, honey. So, they dance like they didn't just crush two people's dreams. And we find out next week they're having a ball.
We're having a ball.
And see, having only 7 queens, that's better for the ball. Okay, yeah, that's only, 21 looks? I can get jiggy with that. It's when we got like 12, 13, 14 queens and you want to throw a ball at us like, whoa, do you not realize how many looks that is? That we have to go over.
Right?
But yes, this is a great start to Canada versus the World Season 2. I'm excited for it. Like I said, these 2 episodes already blew Season 1 out the park, in my opinion. So I think we're going to wrap this up here. Cresha, where can they find you on social media?
You can find me at Cresha McGill. That's CRESHAMCGILL on all social media.
And you can find me in the club, pocket full of bud, mama. But if I'm not there, you can find me on all social media platforms at Simply Desmond. That's SIMPLYDESMOND. Thank you so much for spending a piece of your day with us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you all next time. Bye.